Let me hit the website myself.
Yes, sir. We are here. We're back.
We made it, dog. Third week in a row.
I'm proud, man. I'm proud of us.
We're looking pretty serious in these
We're
streets
now
right now.
consistent. We can be officially consistent.
Yes, indeed. Well, welcome back to another episode of UnQuantized podcast.
Sir.
We're here, three-peating, not to brag, but third week in a row. Consistency is a charm. You know what I'm
Barmelo
saying?
Anthony 4-3.
So fun episode, man. We got we're gonna talk about the BET Awards. We're gonna talk about we got some new gear coming up, a couple things that we're gonna run through this week. But as usual, how was your weekend, man?
It's been hectic, bro. Been a little hectic, so I just been, you know how you had those times where it's like, yo, I have nothing going on, and then you had those times where it's like, yo, when do I get a break? Everything's going on. I'm in that everything's going on stage.
The little need a break stage.
Oh man, I played golf today. I was so happy to play golf, bro, just to get my mind off of not doing anything. I was so happy. So yeah, and then I'm playing Saturday, so that's my relief. But until then, I'm in grind mode. What about you?
Well, before we get into what I did over the weekend, I just realized I don't know what a golf thing is called. I know what a round of golf is, but if you're playing on Saturday and you are playing with or against people, what is that called? Is that a golf match or a golf game?
It's a round of golf. But I'm going I do lessons on Saturdays. So I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I'm still a little trash. I ain't even going. Golf is one of those things. It's like making beats, bro. Like you're gonna be terrible at the beginning. It's no way around it. If you say you're good at the beginning, you're lying. Like I don't believe anybody that says they're automatically good at golf or making beats. It's like it can't happen. Yeah, well, no, I won't say that because I've seen Keys. I take that back. Keys, but he was a musician, so that's kind of cheating. It's kind of cheating. But Keys is the only person I know from AO and Keys that his first beats, he got placements. Like immediately.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so he's like, but I mean, look, he's one of the top dudes, you know what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, most of the time you're gonna be trash. So that's how golf, kind of works. It's fun though.
Gotcha. Man, well, dog, all I did was I was quite the innovator over the weekend. I was making stuff, making sounds, making new Ableton stuff. I'll talk about that in a minute. I felt like a young Einstein over the last couple of days, kind of grabbing the bull by the horns and just that innovative spirit. I had something that was done and then I took it, made it another level and then another level, that type of thing. But I had to remind myself not to get into that perfectionist thing, that we all can fall into.
We were just talking about that because remember the other day we was having a discussion with you were trying to figure out something and you was like,
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna go with this. I'm like, bro, see, that's where you're better than me because I would be over here having a life crisis trying to figure out is it variation 1 or 2?
Duh, but that's so stifling. And even though it's in the name of making something better, it is one of the banes of my existence, bro. To like some stuff I'll feel crazy about even starting because I know how I'll get about the details. And I could just feel the angst of me being bogged down in the details. And then, something that's supposed to take an hour has now taken 2 days because you're trying to get the little things right. I'm trying to get out of that.
See, I'm still trying to find a balance of doing like 10xing and doing the most that's going to separate me from everyone else, but then also not doing small stuff that doesn't get a lot of results. And sometimes I get caught up in the design of something or like the font ain't right. And like, you know what I mean? Like I get caught up in that kind of stuff to where it's like overall it doesn't matter, right? But I do want a good experience. So it's like I'm trying to find a balance of being outstanding and then not doing too much at the same time. Like the Little John. Like what is the Little John? Like, oh, this is great, but it's also simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the formula I've been using, I use it sometimes and it kind of works. There's 2 deadlines. There's the deadline to stop. Like, all right, whatever you got up to this point, stop. And if it's something that involves making a decision. Let's say there's a deadline to stop, and then there's a short deadline after that to pick one of the two or many things that can be done.
Smart.
And I usually set timers for that.
Smart.
Yeah.
Young Busy Works Beats. What's up, my brethren?
Busy in the building.
How's that the new adjustments treating you? How's streaming and all of that?
Streaming and screaming.
Hey man.
but getting back to it though, the weekend was good. Once I learned to set those boundaries, I was making decisions left and right up until the time when I talked to you. I was going through it at that point. And you came through with the cape on. I appreciate you.
Hey man. It's moments like, man, I feel like that's where I'm at. You know how you have like different times where it's like, yo, I feel like in this game, I'm like the star player, and then I got people around. Oh, he said, Triz, audio clean. Is it too clean? I adjusted my mic. Let me know if it's too loud.
Not too clean.
Yeah. But appreciate it, Dex. What's going on? But
I can't see the chat. What
you know how you have moments where it's like, yo, I feel like I'm the point guard, and then sometimes it's like, hey man, I'm setting screens. You know what I mean? And I feel like lately I'm the screen guy. I don't know, all my friends, they've been hitting me about like different things, and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna figure out how I can add value. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be the value guy for right now. My time to be point guard will come, and you know, I'll be asking for some screens. But until then, I'm gonna set up some screens. You know, throw some passes to the homies. So you know, that's what we do, man.
Man, you just laying good groundwork. Yeah. Just laying good groundwork for future benefits and future blessings. That's all.
Man, got to, man.
Yes, sir. That's all that is. Speaking of blessings and laying groundwork, over the weekend, one thing that we both did that we don't normally do was watch an award show. And before we get into the overall award show, I was talking about laying groundwork and all that good stuff because young Busta Rhymes got a Lifetime Achievement Award?
Man, much deserved.
Bruh, definitely much deserved. It was great. I thought they was about to put the music on my man, like turn the music on for. No, they didn't.
Oh yeah, they ain't crazy. Busta cursed them out.
He had a wild out, especially because once he got on stage, he said that it stood there for about a smooth 60 seconds. Didn't say anything, but the speech was great, bro. The speech was great. My man cried a little bit. But think about it. He's been doing it since
80s?
Maybe late 80s. If it's not the 80s and it's the 90s, it's like 90, 91. Yeah. I've been a Busta fan since I was a kid when he was with Leaders of the New School.
Bro, I remember the Give Me Some More video is the one, and he used to scare me as a kid. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like the stuff was popping out. I used to think it was so trippy. I'm like, yo, what is going on, bro? Yeah, right. Yeah, no, Busta's goated, man. Like visuals, like the I think of Missy, Luda, and Busta when I think of like creativity, visuals, like great music, just that whole package is like. But I feel like Busta is like him and Missy are like. They're the earlies. Luda came a little bit later, but like,
yeah, but he fell in line. He fit in perfectly with how things were going. But man, yeah, shout out to Busta. That joint was great. He gave a dope story about how he had to play the play where he used to come in and roll up and pass it around and end up writing a verse and getting on the songs. And that was cool. The play itself was cool, but the best part about that story to me was him going to the office the next day, like, yo, send an invoice for this. Send an invoice for that. Check. Bruh.
I know people was like, ain't this, man. You know, the crazy thing is most artists probably don't even realize, because you know how the invoice thing is. You looking at your like receipts like, when did I spend 75? Busta Rhymes.
But then you see it's Busta, you're like, yeah, okay. Even back then for the 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, whatever, like, it's a feature from Busta. He was popping at the time. But that just shows how putting a good play together and following it can really work. Because I'm sure even when people saw the invoices, nobody felt like they got finessed.
No, exactly. Yeah, because you know Busta gonna man every time, and you know the video gonna be crazy if you got the budget for it.
Dog, it's gonna be on fire. But the one thing, and before we get into the whole actual award show, the one thing we talked about, I said to you the other day, I need to see a Spliff Star interview.
Bro, you made the greatest comparison, bro. I laughed for like 10 minutes off of your Spliff Star analogy, dog.
Should I say the analogy?
Bro, it's great, dog.
Yo, I said Spliff Star is a better Tony Yayo. In terms of like the hype man,
Bro,
best friend.
he's like the right decision, Tony Yayo. It's like
he's right shoulder Tony Yayo.
Yeah, Tony Yayo was straight and narrow. That's Spliff Star. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man. But you think about it, Spliff Star's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, they dress alike everywhere they go. I mean, he hold it down. He don't say too much. When it's time for him to get on the song, he do his thing. I also pointed out that his verse on Make It Clap is a phenomenal verse, and he did better on that song than everybody else on the song. But I think we're ready, man. Ready for the Spliff Star interview. Let's go.
What if he got like a totally different personality than what we think? Like it's one of those like Dave Chappelle skits where it's like, you know how John it was? It's like you finally sit down, it's like indubitably, yes, indeed.
Yo, I was thinking, what if he had the because you know how it is now. The trend is you see an interview with somebody, you find out they from London, they got an overseas accent.
Bro, that joint just like so like it throws me off. I'm like, bro, again, I got fooled, bro. It should be like a oh, that's what we should do. We should do a talk show and we get a bunch of British people, bro. And then they got to try to pass as American. And then we got to see, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Come on, man.
I think they'll all do great.
Netflix, Tubi, don't take my ideas. You know what I mean?
They'll all do great. We'll go over there and we'll do horrible.
Bro, it's so crazy of how they're so great at doing our accent and we're so terrible at doing their accent. It's like we sound I'm terrible doing any accent. Jamaican, I sound terrible. Canadian, I sound terrible, bro. I sound offensive. Like I feel like I'm gonna offend somebody if someone heard me do it out loud. I was like, ooh, don't do that.
Oh, whenever you're ready, you can just hit the Jamaican accent.
No.
Whenever you're ready.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
But now crazy accents aside though, the award show. I was saying to you the other day too, like you can see when a label is putting money behind somebody. Like even if you never heard of that person. Yeah, Coco Jones, obviously Ice Spice, Glorilla, all the rest of those people. Yeah. Even Armani White.
Mm-hmm.
And two things that the main thing that let me know the number of backup dancers you have and their ability to dance.
Your pyrotechnics.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if at low budget, you get one firework. That's all you get.
A sparkler. Everybody with a label and a budget had at least 4 background dancers. The background dancers were killing. They were on point. People who didn't have that much support, or maybe people from the past who obviously are not signed to a label anymore, they just performing songs. 2 background dancers maybe, and they look like they just got the call this morning, and they went to the mall, threw together some outfits that kind of was matching, and do the stanky leg.
Yo, first of all, dog, we have to shout out FLY, right? You know who FLY is?
I do not.
So
shout out to FLY.
Okay, so this is deep. I run deep with this because I came to Atlanta 07, right?
Okay.
09. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing the Migos, you start seeing the Travis Porters and all of that. You know what I mean? Travis Porter's kind of on the way down, but it's a group called FOY, right? And they had a song called Out Your League, which was a super hood Atlanta song, but they had a song called Swag Surfing that at the time
how did I not know their name was FOY?
Bro, at the time, it was cool, but it won't what it is now. Bro, they have other songs. Nobody knows any of them other songs, bro. I do because they had some Atlanta classics. To me, if you was in the Atlanta hood clubs, you knew about FLY. But America knows no other song besides Swag Surfing, and they don't care, and I don't blame them. I'm going to do Swag Surfing if I was them until my shoes could not take it anymore. Until my ACL is gone, I'm going to swag surf and collect those checks, bro. They are millionaires probably off of that one song, bro. It's incredible.
Yeah. I feel crazy because even when that song was being played during the award show, I was like, whose song is this actually?
Mm-hmm.
my mind always goes Soulja Boy. I know it's not Soulja Boy, 1,000,000%. But I'm like, that's like the closest person I could think of. And then I realized I never knew whose song that was. Didn't bother to Google it because I was too lazy. But thank you for putting me on.
Those songs to me are rare. It's like Baby Got Back. It's like a song that it's so big that it's like that song is gonna live on forever. Like Baby Got Back is gonna 20 years from now, they still gonna be playing that song. And people still gonna be remixed, and it's never gonna go away. And I feel like that's how Swag Surfing is gonna be like. We still gonna do every Black holiday. We're gonna do that dance, and it's gonna be. it's
gonna go crazy.
Go. Yeah,
and everyone knows what to do.
Oh,
everybody knows you get your side to side on.
Facts. And shout out to Go Grizz, man. Lotto performed at the BT Awards, and shout out to my homie Grizz, man. I produced with him a lot. Me, him, Diego worked together a whole lot. Man, one of the most talented producers. I say it all the time. Grizz, like brain and like talent wise, incredible, bro. Like
and work ethic,
bro, incredible, dog.
Work ethic is out of this world.
Like I just want to sit in a room and watch him make beats, bro. It's like he on some different stuff. So for it to be a song with Lotto and Cardi B that's blowing up like that, and then in the verse she's saying I'm gonna go like Grizz, and that's like the part where everybody says it's like I know as a producer that's got to be like that's got a great moment, you know what I mean? So it's like, man, I'm happy for my dog, man. So hopefully that's his new tag. I want to see what he does with it. Man, I'm gonna run that joint up if somebody was doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a tag from here on out.
Yeah, but I saw the BT Awards. I was like, man, that's a dope moment right there. Like, I'm happy for him.
That's a fact. Yeah. I won't keep talking about the award show, but we will circle back around to how that's one of the unspoken highlights to a producer when the artist says your name.
Oh yeah.
On the track. But the women taking over, bro.
Oh yeah, it's like
taking over. Shout out to them. Yeah. Shout out to them. But I mean, dog, it's really about it. When it comes to hip hop, it's really a whole bunch of women at the forefront.
Yeah, a lot of them, right? And now I'm starting to see the variety. At one point, I felt like everybody was doing the same kind of thing, but now, I mean, I'm not the biggest Scarlett fan. I don't get a lot of the New York stuff. Like the other girl too, the one that looked like. She looked very tiny. What's her name?
Lola Brooks. Oh, yeah, Lola Brooks.
Yeah, she looked like she would be in my daughter's class. It's like she's mad. I was like, yo, who is this child rapping? But then the song is like mad aggressive. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. It's like I think that's what makes it. It's like very compelling. It's like you see this girl and you don't think she would make this song. You know what I mean? But I'm not
about to do the Dora the Explorer joint.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest like New York music fan right now. That side and drill, not the biggest. I respect it, but not, But I'm glad to start seeing like, I miss when music was like you could hear the New York over here, you could hear the Bay over here. Now it's just, everything kind of blends together, and it's kind of, I don't enjoy that as much. I enjoy like, ooh, that's somebody from the Bay. Like I love hearing that. Like you only can get the Bay. You know what I'm saying? I could never make that. This is only a Rick Rock type beat. You know what I mean? Rick Rock can only pull this off, and I enjoy that, No,
I will say though, a little unlike you, I'm not hearing, to me, enough versatility.
Oh, it still needs a room, but it's starting.
Women. Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to just put it on the women in hip hop. I mean, it's kind of hip hop in general, but seeing as how it's like this new explosion of women in the forefront. Let's say it's a steady 6, 7 in the forefront. Out of the 6 or 7, 5 or 6 of them sound exactly alike to me. Or they don't sound alike because, like you said, regionally accents are different. But I see a lot. I see too much of the formula. Yeah, the topics are the same. The movements are the same. Even when performing, it's like I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna shake a little bit. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And now I don't want to take away from the fact that they're all having success. And that's dope. Because for a minute, it was kind of quiet for the women in hip hop. So shout out to them for that. But I do feel like it's a lot of the exact same thing. And maybe it's me. And if you in the chat, tell me if you think, if you have a different opinion. But I just think I need a little more variety.
I mean, you're right, because it's the same people writing all the records. It's like the same 3 people writing every record that's coming out. So it's like, it's gonna be some similarities there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you know, success is cool, and I'm happy for them, but just me, and I'm not the intended audience either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in the baddies, so maybe it's not for me, and maybe the baddies want to hear the same thing.
Telling you, man, you don't know uncomfortable until you're in the club and it's like nothing but women around you, and then Pound Town comes on, and the first couple lines of that one, you learn a lot about people. You know what I'm saying? You like, wow, okay, we're strangers
It's
here.
too.
You just
It's
told me all of that. All right, all right. This is a
yeah,
lot.
like yeah, till somebody standing on the table smoking hookah.
Like, yeah, this is a lot to be disclosing, and I'm just standing beside you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Hey
see.
man,
Oh, hold on, we got a couple joints in the chat. Beats by XX. He says, curious to know what you both think about the new was it innovative FreakTube FT1 desktop box to add warmth to your DAW mixes. And then he says correction MP MIDI controller versus Raven MTI. I ain't gonna front, bro. I'm gonna have to Google all of that. I don't know none of that. I don't know
no,
none of this is.
no, I'm not gonna lie either. I don't either. It's a lot of stuff coming out. And I'll be honest with you too. I am known for innovation in sound design, but I am not always the person to go to. Like I don't have the latest Stressinator 8000 with the whip wop key batch patch back. I'm not really that person
You're
when
the
it
retro
comes to
guy.
that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm more of a retro guy, more of a just building complex stuff out of simple things that I already have. And anybody that's been following me for a while, you kind of know that. But yeah, when it comes to the new this, that, and the third, I don't really know that. I'm kind of like hip hop at its core, like how hip hop was made from. It's music made from people that didn't have instruments, didn't know how to play instruments, but they had turntables and kind of worked it out from there to make a whole new genre.
Hmm.
That is kind of the premise that I operate off of with whatever I make.
You know what? You're kind of like on Back to the Future, not the one where they went to the Western one with the train.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You're
yeah.
like him, like you're into the vintage, but also you're into the future stuff too. Like you be making AI, but then you also run in through tape. It's like it's a weird,
Right.
combination, but it works. You know what I mean?
Steampunk.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
steampunk.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
you.
old futuristic stuff.
Yeah, that's you. That's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But saying all that to say, I do want to check out what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I'll Google it and see what's up. But I ain't
Yeah.
gonna front. I haven't been into new gear like that because nothing's been really that impressive to me. So I'm just kind of been like chilling with what
Yeah.
I got.
Well, what about the new Teenage Engineering TX6?
That did look cool. I ain't even gonna front. The video that we saw, it was like it made me interested because the dude basically was a teenage engineer, but he had like a cover over. It was the pocket operator, and he had an MPC
Right.
cover over it. So it looks like a little tiny MPC, and then he had the new teenage engineer, and it's like a mixer, and
Right.
making a beat. And it was kind of cold, and I was like, oh, that's pretty unique.
So if someone asked you to describe what the Teenage Engineering TXS is in two sentences or less, what would you say?
It looks to me, it looks like a micro interface, like a micro mixer. It's like this where you could kind of just sample and record and mix. But again, I might have missed it too. So let me know if I'm
So from what I gather, the TX6, it's a little bit of everything. And when I say a little bit, I mean it's a little bit in terms of size. So from what I gather, it's an interface, a mixing console, a field recorder, a synthesizer, a sequencer, an effects box,
oh sorry.
and a drum machine. It does all of that. And it's probably smaller than my phone.
Yeah.
And it has 6 inputs, 6 outputs, all that stuff. I'll pull up some specs on it. But for something that small, it seems to do a lot.
Oh yeah,
A
that's
whole
just
lot.
fire.
Yeah. So do you know how much it costs?
See, that's where I was just about to say. See, I like teenage engineering. I love all this stuff. OP1, new joint. I want them. But that price in my want don't ever match up. It's never that I want it so bad that I would justify that price. And that's where I always have a disconnect with them. And
Twelve
I
hundred
feel like
dollars.
you said how much?
1,200.
Come on, say what?
$1,200.
See, see now. Ain't no way in hell I would. Nah, it ain't even that cool no more. It's like, bro, ain't nothing that cool about it. It ain't $1,200 worth of cool in there. They gotta send me one. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
gotta prove $100 to me for that one. That's crazy.
So what could it do, if anything, to make you, and this is to you or to anybody in the chat, what could the TX6 do, if anything, to make you say, okay, now I would spend $1,200 on that?
Dog, 1,200. I need Quincy Jones to come out and show me chord progressions himself.
That's a fact.
I need like, no. Don't go to the 4. Look, if you want attention, go to the 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I need to hear from, you know what I mean, Quincy Jones himself. No Zoom.
Yeah.
I need him to just knock on the door and be like, "Yo, what up?"
No AI, no Quincy Jones AI popping out the joint.
No Chat GPT. I need Quincy Jones himself.
So you could put a thumb drive in the back of that joint, and you know all of that is fire. And for everything it does, to me personally, I don't really need any of that.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's the thing. It's hella cool. It looks dope, and the fact that you can do all that in such a small device is striking to me. But it's like seeing a tiny house that's really well decorated on the inside. Like,
but it's $2 million. You like,
that's dope.
Yard, $2 million. $2 million. I need a yard. I need my kids.
Yeah.
Like, no, that ain't happening.
1,200, my boy.
That's why I ain't even look, bro. I ain't even look. Teenage engineers famous for that, bro. They are taxing. They are the Louis Vuitton of. Hey, yeah. I ain't mad at it. Somebody's paying it. Hey, it's working for them. It just ain't gonna be me. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's not. And I mean, I think it's dope, and it's something for innovation. But boy, oh boy, are they taxing? Oh my god, bro!
Not me.
I had some specs on this joint. I was actually gonna pull them up. I don't even know if it's worth pulling them up.
Yeah, I don't even. It ain't $1,200 worth of specs on there. I guarantee you that.
Shout out to them boys though.
Beats by XS says Dusty Locane's voice and flow so similar to Pop Smoke, it's trippy. You know what's crazy is that in hip hop that's happened so many times. It's been multiple things of rapper will somebody would just pop up and have the same voice and it run with that exact same character. Because you remember
Gorilla Black with Biggie.
Gorilla Black and Biggie, and then it was you remember the dude Angelus who was Jay-Z?
Jay-Z, yeah.
Bro, that was like, bro, I used to love that mixtape, bro. You cannot find it on the internet. They scrubbed the internet of that. It's like gone.
Yep.
But
he was fire. He wasn't as fire as Jay-Z, but
it gave you something though. It was like, huh.
Yeah. It's kind of like, oh, we don't have any Coca-Cola, but we got some Diet Coke. We like, okay.
We got some Dr. Thunder over here.
Like, Dr. Thunder, that's a fact.
All right. You know,
we got some cola.
Yeah. We got some 6 down over here. You like 6 down?
6 down. Is that a bottle of Sprint? Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
And in the producer community, it happens all the time.
Yes.
Bro, I forgot what I was watching. I have to ask my brother. Shout out to Just Be Man, no DJ. He could tell you. It's something about how Marcus Houston was a producer. Then I believe the name was Platinum Status. And how they would make beats pretty much like R. Kelly. That was like their thing. So if you listen to B2K's albums, it's like all these R. Kelly type beats, but it's Marcus Houston producing them. And it's like they just like will take their took the style and was like, hey, bro, we don't need you no more. You know what I mean? And did that. But so it happens a lot of people just kind of taking flows, you know what I mean? And just kind of. But has anybody ever been more successful than the original? No, right?
Not that I can think of. Of anybody I could think of that was copied? No. Yeah. Not even close. As a matter of fact, there's never a time where the person who sounded like the original didn't catch a bit of ridicule.
Mm-hmm.
They never really succeeded. They never got totally shunned or cast out, but they did catch a small batch of ridicule, whether it's in the beginning or all throughout. And none of them seemed to last at all.
Yeah, Gorilla Black got up out of here quick. They got him up out of here real quick.
Super fast. So let me ask you this. This wasn't on the list of topics, but if you're the first to do something, as let's say as a producer, a style of beat or something like that, and then a million people come along and copy you, is it more flattering or more offensive? Or do you care?
Yeah. See, when you said first to do something, I don't want to be the first to do it. I want to be the first to be known for it, because that's who gets all the credit. Because like with Mustard, I mean, and no slight to Mustard, but what Mustard was making isn't new, right? He just got famous. He was the person who got famous. He took the Bay Area sound and he meshed it with, you know what I'm saying? Like, he talks about it. So it's not like, I'm like dissing him, but I feel like in those situations, it's like, man, you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you're the first to be known for it, you're the first to be known for it, and then a million people come along and bite it. Is it more flattery or more offense?
That's tough.
And I hate to put you on the spot, but whatever your answer is, I'm going to raise the stakes a little bit too once you answer.
That's tough, because I mean, I wonder all the time. Like, I wonder how Lex Luger feels about it. Like, Lex Luger literally changed like how we made beats. Like, beats were one way. Lex Luger came out, and then everybody changed. And it's like, I wonder, does he like love it, and does it like, because I could see one way of I love this, like I influence a generation, but then also I could feel like being slighted because now everybody's taking something you worked hard for and then profiting off of it too, and kind of cutting away from what you could potentially make too. So
Yeah,
it's tricky. I could see it both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's really tough. It's really tough. The only way I could see being just completely flattered by it is if you're, like you said, known for it, you're the undisputed king of whatever it is, and everyone else is looked at as they're doing you instead of, but once it becomes the new style, that's the thing. When people are like, oh, they're just doing the new style, when essentially they're doing your style, then that's when the other stuff comes in. And some people may disagree. It may sound like ego talking, but I mean, let's face it, we're all human beings and we all have egos. And if you are known for something and you do something and then somebody comes along and just totally jumps in your bag, you're gonna feel a certain type of way. I don't care who you are.
Oh yeah, because you kind of like watering down the pot too. It's like by more people copying, it's like counterfeits. It's like, yeah, you're watering down. You know what I'm saying? It's like the more counterfeits that is less sales from the actual company. So it's like,
Yeah. I don't know. That was just a wild question. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like, I mean, part of it's like, then how do you influence? People gotta copy the influence and to create something new. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get to, I don't think you get to like the Illminds if you don't have Dilla. And I'm sure at some point Illmind was borrowing some, you know what I'm saying, and replicate. I'm sure. I'm guessing, but you know what I'm saying?
Right. You gotta Kleenex the game.
Yeah.
You gotta put your stamp on whatever that thing is, that no matter who comes after you, you are the name that people talk about. Like, million companies make tissues, but
That's
you say, hand me a Kleenex.
Right.
I feel like that's what you got to do. And that's just great branding. And I don't even think, I'm pretty sure Kleenex wasn't the first people to make tissue, but whatever they did, they solidified the brand. And I think a lot could be learned from that.
Oh yeah, they are masterclass in branding. They do it right.
That's crazy. Like, no matter who you are, you could come out with the newest, best, most inventive tissue ever. And people be like, yo, them new Kleenexes you came out with are crazy.
Yeah, that's real.
Like, when you go to fast food restaurant, you ask for chicken McNuggets. They're like, we don't have McNuggets. My bad.
I wonder if somebody was like, yo, let me get the McNuggets, bro.
My wife did that a million years ago. We were younger. She did that. Went up to Wendy's, asked for McNuggets, and the person was not having it. We don't have those. And it's not really clicking what's going on. It's like, yeah, you do. It's right on the menu. We don't have McNuggets. I was like, oh.
Oh, that's all bad. Oh.
Yeah.
You go. I hit the go back. All right. So that threw me off. Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
I was gonna say, you have on here about Simba. I thought this was an interesting topic.
Very interesting. So, the rapper Simba, who is nice, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's cold.
Dog, he is super nice. He got a lot to say, but anyway, that's not what this is about. He released a video. He was on a podcast or something like that, being interviewed or something, and he did a bit of a rant about how he said older producers are charging too much for beats. Not only did he say that, he's like, older producers want to charge like $80K for a beat. And to put it in full perspective, he's like, they'll be like, let's get together. They'll get an Airbnb and work together for a couple days or a weekend or whatever, eat, FaceTime, get to know each other and all of that. And then I guess at the end, when the song is about to drop or whatever, he's like, they want to tax for it. Okay, personally, I'm gonna just go ahead. Usually I ask, but I'm gonna just go ahead and give my opinion on that real quick. It's kind of hard to have that argument when you hear rappers talking about spending 100K, 200K on a chain, or about how much you got the money, or on the flip side about how much you respect the culture, or about how much it's about handling your business and how much it's about getting the bag. When you hear that talk a lot, and a person's price is their price, and the fact that you say it's an older producer, I'm interpreting that as seasoned, experienced producer who doesn't feel crazy or doesn't feel like they're trying to get you when they name a high price. And I think, I don't know if the 80 was just, a metaphorical price, or maybe that's a real price he was quoted. I don't know if it's as high as 80 all the time, but a person's price is their price and a person's worth is their worth. I feel like either you pay it or you don't.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. How you feel about it?
It's like, one, unless it's like a Miami bar. Have you ever been to a Miami bar and the price is not on the menu? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Market price.
I feel like if I'm doing an Airbnb, I'm doing all that, at some point we're gonna have a discussion about price. If we're doing all of this, at some point somebody is gonna talk about business at some point. I don't think I would get that far without knowing somewhat of what the price is gonna be to do this. So That's one, to me, that sounds crazy. That, I mean, and it's music business, so I can see how that happened. You just vibing, but also to me, it sounds like this ain't like internet producer who just emailing you a beat. This sounds like I'm in the room with you. We're building. We're spending a lot of time. We're doing multiple records, right? It's not just we're doing one record and I'm just emailing. It's like, yo, we're gonna build multiple records and you're gonna take the top whatever and do whatever.
Right.
And then 3, I'm pretty sure that whoever it is, they have like a large brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to consider that is that, like, if you got a beat from Swiss Beats, you're gonna get clicks just because it's Swiss Beats. Right. If you got a Pharrell beat, you're gonna get clicks just because it's a Pharrell beat off rip. So there's
value there.
It's a value just to having that person attached to it by itself. So of course it's not gonna be the same as a newer producer. Now, do I think they might be overcharging? Maybe, but it's up to you to pay. Do I think newer producers are undercharging?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. I think it's like when you go to Dollar Tree and then you go to Costco and you're like, bruh, I gotta pay all this for this. And like, no, bro, the value is different, dog. What you're getting, it's the same thing, but the value in the packaging is different. And you have to understand that Dollar Tree, you're gonna get a small little bag of this, and it's gonna be like this. And Costco, you're gonna get 12 weeks worth of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of graham crackers. It's gonna last you a lifetime.
And I feel like he put a little bit of sauce on it. He actually put a lot of sauce on it too, because whoever was interviewing him, as he's going on, the person's like, well, wait, how long does it take to make a beat? He's like 5 minutes.
See,
I'm like,
that doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter.
It does not. Well, I have 2 schools of thought on that. Number one, that is not always the case. It's not like, yo, any beat you make is going to take 5 minutes. Maybe the foundation of it, but it still has to be produced. Secondly, even if every beat I ever made only took me 5 minutes, it's taking me only 5 minutes because I have 20, 30 years of experience making beats. So I know what I'm doing. So I kind of feel like that was a little too much sauce.
It's like nobody goes to Gordon Ramsay and is like, bro, you cooked that steak in 10 minutes, bro. Like, why is it, you should cut me a deal. Nobody does that. It's like, yo, that's Gordon Ramsay. That's that dude, bro. You pay him his rate. You know what I mean? Like, if you want food from him, you got to pay him that rate. It's
there
simple,
it is.
you know what I mean? But the time, I hate when people do that. It's like the time, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, no, that don't matter. If Zaytoven makes a beat in 3 minutes and it's just like, it looked like the
Still
easiest thing in the
Zaytoven
world, that's because Zaytoven had made 10 million beats. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so for him, it is easy. Yeah, but it's like, bro, like, you got to pay for that time.
Yeah, you paying for my experience. You're not paying for the amount of time it took to make the thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because if you didn't see me make the thing and I brought the thing to you, you'd be like, this thing is crazy.
Because I bet
that's
you,
dope.
If somebody was like, yo, I want a verse from him, but you only took an hour to write your verse. You like, bro, no, I need my full rate, right? So it's like, if it was on,
Come on, man.
With your talent, you would have a totally different opinion. So when it comes to beats, don't have that same mindset of the time. That's crazy talk.
Right. Hey, if you want things to change, maybe people should start rapping about being broke, because everybody raps about how much money they got. And then when it's time for an invoice to come through, you're like, man, you know, I ain't got all that money.
Oh, they the worst.
You know what I mean? Or and not saying anything about the homie. I don't know how much money he got. I'm not pocket watching him, but some people are very budget conscious. And I get that. You have a finite amount of budget that you have to spend, but you should probably get all this information before you lock in for days on end in an Airbnb with a high-end producer. You know this is not going to be cheap. You should probably know how not cheap it's going to be before you invest all of this time. Then you won't be so upset in the end.
Because you're not just paying for the beat too. You paying for the staff, that person's staff to be there. You paying for food. Like, that 80 ain't just the beat. It's like, you gotta, no, whatever that cost occurs, bro, that's what it is. It's like, bro, if I got Timbaland in the studio, I gotta expect it's gonna come with some costs. I can't just have Timbaland in the studio. Like, that's crazy talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he was talking about, oh, they want to own the masters. I'm like, I don't know about all that. But all of that sounds like business that just has to be worked out between your people and their people. But it's a high-end producer. It's a producer with experience. It's obviously a producer with a name. You have to expect some of this, or at least not be salty when it comes your way, because you can always walk away or choose not to lock in.
All right. But it's a reason that you're going to them and not the newer producers. So it's like, within that, you already know. You know what I'm saying?
The name holds cachet.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I gotta watch the full clip so I can make sure I get the context of it. But that sounds crazy.
Yeah, he was heated too.
Crazy talk. Is that gonna be his moment, like how Russ? I never understood why producers hated Russ until I saw that clip, and then it's like people just took that and just ran and hated him for that. It wasn't even
I never knew what the cause was. What was it?
It was something about he was blaming the producers too. And whatever his point was, I wasn't actually mad at it, bro. I can't remember exactly. I'm butchering it right now, but I think it was like, we have to blame the producers in the decline of music too, as well as the rappers. You can't just blame the rappers, which I agree. I totally agree.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But the way he, I feel like he's not the most he doesn't deliver the medicine that's smooth sometimes. So I feel like people take offense to him. And people hated him for a while. And then it's like, I'm like, man, I don't like this guy. And then I'm like, wait, why don't I not like this guy? And then it's just because I've only seen this dude stuff. When I start watching his content, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like Russ stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not really a fan of his music like that, but like his content, like what he does and all that. It's like, bro, I love it, man. So producer community, don't attack Simba. No, don't do it. I mean, he's good.
Yeah. He's just voicing his opinion. Oh, Young Ponzu in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Up, bro? Oh, I gotta hit you back too, bro. I already know.
Yes, sir. But yeah, Ponzu said I'm taxing.
Oh, bro, I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
Oh man, Shem rapping HD said, okay, yeah. Oh, somebody named HD that sounds similar to Jay-Z. That's crazy. HD and Jay-Z. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that completely alone.
Brandon, but KB,
KY, out here in these streets. Yeah, yeah, KY. But anyway, so okay, this kind of leads into another topic. So I had posted I posted a reel on Instagram this week with the question, because I like to ask these polarizing questions. And the question was, if your favorite artist asked you to produce a song on the upcoming album for free, you get no publishing, you get no advance, but you do get your full production credit written, would you do it?
And you said favorite artist?
Favorite artist.
Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you this. Would this be a single?
For the sake of this conversation, yes.
Dog. Oh, okay. Can I pick the artist, or does it have to be favorite artist?
Your favorite artist.
Ooh. See, that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Right? Because my favorite artist is probably not the best business decision. I probably would do it just for the love of it. So I probably would just do it, but that's crazy. But if I could pick, I'm gonna go Beyonce, single, right? I guarantee you getting some Beyonce single, you produce it, you're making that 20 times in the long term. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I would try to look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? But favorite, I feel like my favorite artist is like Kaytranada, bro. So it's like, it's like it'd be something like that. It'd be some indie artist where you'd be like, bro, like we're not gonna make no money anyway. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but like
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like for me, it wouldn't be worth it doing that. I don't know. I would do it for the love of it. If it's my favorite artist, like MIA, I would do an MIA record for the free, ski dog. I just love MIA.
Beyonce non-single.
Hey, it's Beyonce, man. I still with I still, hey, but it's gotta I'm gonna have a whole business plan on how I'm gonna make this and make some money off of it. I'm gonna have a whole rollout. I'm gonna have a PR. I'm doing courses about it, bro. It's going down.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to. Ponzu said all my favorite artists are rich, though.
That's very, very true.
Yeah, it's a
like
good point.
I do like some broke artists, though. Hey, they make some great music. You know what I mean? Sometimes the broke make the music sounds good. So that's what
they do. That's where the pain come from.
Yeah.
That's what what I mean. All the bad ingredients in the food will make it taste good.
You know what I'm saying?
So my answer, I saw maybe two or three people that echo what my answer was. I didn't post my answer. I never do because I don't want to like taint the opinion. But my answer is depends on the artist. I said it's my favorite artist, so I guess it depends. Like your favorite artist might not have necessarily been the best person to make that decision with, but there could be another higher tier artist. But anyway, so I said it depends on the artist, and yes, I would do it, but only one time.
Yeah. See,
only one time. I would strive to keep that relationship going and position this as the beginning of something and not just the total thing. But yes, it would have to be just one time only. And there are maybe at this point, for me, maybe 5 artists I could think of where I'm like, for sure.
Drake, Beyonce. And then for me, it's just like people I would like MIA is just like a random person I just would love to produce. Or Gucci Man is on my list. Like I just want a Gucci Man. You luckily have one, bro. You have a prestigious Gucci Man record. You know what I mean?
I do. I forgot. Thank you.
Low key jealous about that one. That's on my list of like, ooh, I want a Gucci record. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. I'm gonna hype it up a little bit more. It's a Gucci Man song, but it's also featuring Chris Brown and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that's a
threefer.
Yeah, that's
So that's my Chris Brown placement.
Bingo.
And that's my second Wayne placement.
Yeah, that's a
so yeah, I caught a threefer.
Yeah, you definitely checked off some on the bingo board on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, Gucci, I can see that.
Yeah, I see mine's is like random person ones, other than the money ones. I mean, of course, like Drake. I mean, I love Drake. You know what I mean? I love Beyonce too. They make great records. Ponzu says, I do it honestly. I've known people that Beyonce just cut their beats and they were offered millions of dollars in pub deals. And that's facts. Certain people, you just going, you gonna make money.
I should have capitalized off that. I did not know that.
My dog said, wait a minute. Wait, Basil?
There was this one ballad that I will not speak of.
Hey man, I that thing mysteriously gets played at a publishing. Oh, I don't know how this happened. Oh
That's
no.
a fact. Then the beat just kept changing hands after that. After the ballad, the Beyonce ballad didn't work. The beat changed hands like 2 or 3 times, and boy, did it trickle down
Oh yeah.
to the person at the bottom that was like this. I'm not gonna say that person's name, but if I do, you're gonna be like, oh, damn, how you go from here to
Oh
there?
yeah.
Still a placement, but
It gets tricky.
yeah, it was bad.
Young Masada, what up, my brother? He says, hello, chat, respect. What up, Tristan Sound Uncle? What up, man? He says, did I miss the MPC 3.0 talk?
You did not. We didn't even talk about that yet.
Perfect.
But you are you're about to say you are the master of transitions, sir. MPC. So Akai is supposed to be coming out with the MPC 3.0 software very soon. I know a few people that know a few things. Mixed reviews. Not gonna lie, it's like split down the middle. Some people are like, yo, people are gonna hate this. Some people are like, finally, it got some stuff that we wanted to make happen in it.
So okay, explain this to me, because I'm the guy that I love NPC talk, but I'm a over here guy. You know what I mean? I'm not in the thick of the NPC stuff. I just something's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm here. What is the selling point of 3.0?
I don't know specifically. I don't know, but let's say I did know. Maybe some linear stuff. I think maybe the introduction of a linear type of view or a linear type of arrangement. I feel like I read that somewhere. I don't know how much I really need that inside of my beatbox type of deal, but I mean, some people want it, and I guess also in the, I don't know, it's just not a big thing to me. Other than that, that's really like the only potential good thing I read about. Every other thing was bad. Like bad, like taking away things that were in place for decades. I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. And I have no.
I feel like they've run into a bad string of like PR. Like it's not been good lately. What's been going on with all these companies?
I don't know, but I guess you kind of gotta. I feel like they're in a pivoting and a readjustment phase, despite all the drama that happened before. Like for instance, you got the MPC 1 Plus. I'm like, dog, did you really need a 1 Plus? But I guess if you were making 3 different types of designs for the MPC 1, maybe you want to consolidate and have only a single one. But the aftermarket price for the MPC 1s is like bottom. Like I seen a joint for like $350.
Really?
For MPC 1. Yeah, a old school MPC 1. You know, they got the gold ones, they got the classic black one like I got, and they got I think the retro. So I don't know how the aftermarket is kind of just crazy for it. And I feel like Akai, it functions more like iPhones than Samsung. And what I mean by that is Apple expects you to buy an iPhone every year. Even if they just add 1 camera to it or 10 pixels to the existing cameras, they want you to pay the same price for a brand new product every year. Whereas Samsung are like, people buy phones every 3 or 4 years. So we're just going to make phones every 3 or 4 years. And if you happen to need a new phone or want to come over to Samsung, we'll urge you to buy a phone, but we won't pressure the people that already have 1-2 year phones to buy a new phone. I feel like Akai is trying to transition from the iPhone thing to maybe a little longer play, but it's not looking good because things like putting out the same unit within a short amount of time, but only adding like 2 seemingly insignificant things and then trying to charge just as much for it as the last unit or maybe even more. That's kind of crazy to me. Like 2 more gigs of RAM and I don't know, whatever gigabyte of hard drive space or a new paint job, and you're like, yeah, give me another $1,000 or another $2,000. I'm like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So I'm hoping that they're transitioning and they're pivoting to get to a place that's a little more palatable for the consumer, and it might just be a bumpy road getting there.
Yeah, I mean, because regardless of like we agree or disagree, we need companies like that. So we need them to get it together, because if like if they fall off, then what do we have? You know what I'm saying? Like, we really gonna be out here with nothing. So we need this kind of stuff, but also, like, I need y'all to get this together, man. Like,
yeah, because y'all are a staple. I feel like if you just remember what got you here, remember the things that people love you for, and stick to them. And when you make improvements, try to improve there first.
Sure.
And I'm once again, just personal opinion. I feel like when someone says that they improve something for you, and then you see the improvement is super minor, but the ask for the price is still super major, then you start to feel like you're getting got.
Right.
That's what gives people that gotcha feeling. Like, 2 megabytes of RAM and a new paint job, buy another one. You're like, ain't this the same thing I already got? Minus 2 terabytes of RAM, which costs how much?
Right.
I probably, you probably got that in your jeans right now.
Yeah,
so wow.
Yeah. Hopefully they get it together. Hopefully we'll see if it got good reviews.
I hope so, bro.
They've been catching a string of just like.
Yeah. So Jay Plaza, you're absolutely right. They did do that with the 3000 and the 3000 LE back in the day. 100% right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they didn't pull that move a lot. Maybe in the beginning, then they stopped in the middle, and it's like they're back to it now, because you had the 60, and then you had the MPC 62. Then you had the 3000, then you had the 3000 LE. But after that, there was the 2000, and there wasn't like a 2000 limited edition. There was the 2000 XL, but there were significant upgrades between the 2000 and 2000 XL. Like, for instance, the XL, it added a lot to the OS. It had the tilt screen, whole new screen on that joint. Like, it was a lot that they did from the 2000 to the 2000 XL, and then they just came out with then they did the 1000, totally different thing. 4000, totally different thing. 5000, I'm not too keen on that, but to my knowledge, it's not a souped up 4000. You know what I mean? So, but then they just kind of got back around, because after that was Renaissance. Then it was groundbreaking. From there, they had the Live 2, significant change from the Live. You added a speaker, you added the battery, all of that, significant change. It wasn't until they got to the X and the 1 that you started seeing this very small incremental change going on. It reminds me of Apple once they lost Steve Jobs. Yeah, Steve was innovating. And then they just started adding cameras, like, Steve in here, we don't know what to do. So 4 cameras? You know what I'm saying?
Have 5 speakers on it. You be like, bro, I don't need no more speakers on the MPC, bro.
Facts.
Even the 1. Stop putting speakers on here.
Nah, I don't know, dog. This one come with Bluetooth and green tooth.
Not the green.
It's good for the environment. Yeah, so I hope they get it together though, man, because they are a staple. They are a staple in hip hop, and I've been using my 2000 for sound design a lot over the weekend, and it just made me realize how in love I am with that joint. Like, it's amazing. So I mean, as a company, I want them to stick around. I want to see them do well, for real.
Thanks. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go to this tip of the week. He says, this is a good one, right? And this is something that I actually need this for myself. You're talking about, do you uninstall plugins that you don't use, right? And I'm torn on this, right? I'm always scared because I don't have all my beats printed, which I should. I ain't gonna, you know how you're supposed to bounce everything out a certain way, and I don't be doing that all the time. Sometimes I do it, but all the time. So I'm scared that if I delete it, then it's gonna throw off the whole, you know what I mean?
And, yes. Well, that's the reason why I made that the tip of the week. is because it was originally going to be about committing. The difference between committing, keeping things in MIDI and then committing to audio, but it led me down the thought process of actually uninstalling VSTs. So you pointed out the great thing, though. In order to even be comfortable uninstalling VSTs, you have to be comfortable with committing, committing to audio. So I've gotten into this thing where I have been uninstalling old VSTs on old machines. I'll say that much, on old machines. But the reason why I don't do it on my newer machines is because when I start fresh, I go into it with the mindset of I'm not going to load this up with a bunch of junk. And so my thing is, if you have a plugin that you haven't used, and let's say I'll give you 2 years, if you have not used this plugin in 2 years, think about uninstalling it, because not every plugin that you have that you can uninstall is being used in something. You got plugins that you had forever that you've never used. Ever. I like to know, it's kind of like money in the bank. You can look at a lot of money, but I like to know what I'm really working with. So let's remove all the extra stuff. What am I really working with? That way I know what I really need. That way I can refine my process. That way I can be more precise. Also, that way I get less lost and bogged down with plugin surfing and shifting. Less plugins mean less buttons to tweak, less time to waste. But it's not for the faint of heart. You got to make some life choices to uninstall plugins, unless you're just getting a whole new computer, in which case you're kind of forced to start over, and you could start with that in mind. But I think everybody should do it, bro. I think you should do it. Bouncing things, the MIDI or whatever, if you know where you use the certain plugins at, if you don't use that plugin in years, or them plugins in years, especially effects plugins,
I'll get rid of them.
Out of here, bro.
So you saying I can get rid of Vanguard?
I'm pretty sure you can get rid of Vanguard, bro.
Yo, Vanguard was the moment, dog. I ain't gonna front. Vanguard was great. Great times.
Yes, it was. Oh man, if you're of a certain age in here, you know about Vanguard. And if you're under that age, oh, you missed it. It was
man.
Nexus before Nexus.
Man, fun times with those gated synths that it was hard to control. Some of them drums would just go too crazy. You be like, all right, bro, you doing too much now. Like,
yeah.
And then once Danger once Danger got a hold of him, it was a wrap. You couldn't use them no more. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Danger was like, no, I still use Vanguard to this day.
He would make it cool. He'd be the one to make it sound cool.
1,000,000%. He was using Vanguard and Stylus. Stylus Remix.
Damn.
Ooh. Yes, indeed.
Trizza, do you use an Apple M1? Do you like it? I think Oracle uses PC. So I don't have M1. I have the one right before the M1. But I'm about to buy a new computer in probably the next couple of weeks. And I'm looking at the M2, right? But I also heard the M1 is better than M2. So I got a homie, Cliff, who is the Apple guy.
Yes, he is.
Apple related problems, anything, I hit him up and he gets me right. So I'll let you know what I end up going with. But the only thing with Apple that's kind of like trash is that you have to max out the computer. You can't like get it and then upgrade it later. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get a MacBook, you can't upgrade the hard drive later. You know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. Whatever you got at the time, unless they've been changed it recently. But at one point, it's like whatever you got, that's what it is. And so, you gotta wild out when you get a MacBook. You gotta go a little crazy, you know what I mean? So you got a little room to grow because I'm DJing and making beats and stuff off of it. So yeah, probably the next 2 or 3 weeks I'm gonna try to cop something. I'm looking at it. I just gotta figure out.
Fire. Before I get on to the next thing, somebody said never get rid of hypersonic. Dog. Hypersonic, in case for those that don't know, hypersonic, the best I could describe it is it was Expand 2 before Expand 2. If that makes sense. And if you're like, well, what is Expand 2? Just Google it. Yeah, just go ahead and Google it.
But Adderall, or what is it? Adderall or
Adderall Orchestra. Oh my god!
What though? For real, do them sounds, bro. For real, had a wrong things too.
Ooh, you took it back. They had a clap in there I used to use when Big Claps was in. I used to use a clap from there all the time.
You know, a plugin that I see and people when they find out about it, they act like it's brand new, and I'm like, bro, this plugin is probably older than y'all kids. Is
Dalai Lama,
dog exactly? That's exactly, bro.
Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama, whatever it's
People
called.
find that and act like it's the newest plugin. I'm like, bro, that's probably the oldest plugin on your computer. That thing been around since forever, dog, and still a
Super old.
Mm-hmm.
Super old, man. We got to have the old head podcast, plug-in podcast one day. We can sit here and name some old plugins, bro.
Battery 3. Oh
Ooh,
man, Battery 3 is
yeah.
classic. I can go through them.
The plugin that changed, I guarantee you, this one plugin changed everybody in here's life, at least from a listening to music standpoint. Intact. And you don't even know how it changed your life. You don't know anything about it. You probably never heard of it or seen it.
But
Intact, I guarantee you, shaped your life.
I didn't know about it till you put me on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super old. It's not even worth talking about. You can't even find it. And not only is it crazy old, it was only supported for maybe, I feel like, less than a year.
Mm.
There's only 2 versions, 1.0 and 1.03. That's it.
They're like, all right, y'all done bootleg me enough. It's time. Like
It's
Salim,
a wrap.
like Salim, that dude just gave up on it. He's like, bro, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
What was the Rob Papin one? The red joint?
Not Predator.
Predator. No, not Predator.
Albino?
Albino 3. Ooh.
Albino has some hard bases on it, bro.
Bruh, I made many a joints with some albino, dog. Albino was that move, dog.
Woo! God, you took it back. Young Albino.
3. That was that joint. Yeah. Albino Predator. What was the other one? Oh, Tone 2 Firebird. Bro,
Firebird was crazy.
I ain't thought about Firebird in a minute. Damn, what
they had a whole bunch of them joints, actually.
Do they still make plugins? Tone 2? I haven't heard about them.
I don't know. They had Gladiator too. Gladiator was kind of fire.
Ooh, Gladiator was a gem. And was the one Electra X. Bro, I still use Electra X. Bro, I still use Electra X right now.
That's fire. I have a whole bundle. I have 12 preset banks for Electra X on my site.
Oh yeah.
And them joints still sell. So
it
ain't gone.
You remember Zeta? Was it Zeta Plus? Was that how you say it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Diva? Remember Diva?
You old. Diva. Diva was it. I'm telling you, for retro sense, Diva was it. However, you throw them pads on there, your CPU could twitch it like Flavor Flav on stage.
And you're a Harlem Shaker.
Man, what? Kill it.
Yeah, we gotta go through, man. We gotta reminisce about the old next
week.
Old plugins.
Yo, next week. Let's do that, bro. Let's do that. All right. What did we cover on here? Tip of the week, we did that. So producer challenge. Let's do that real quick. The producer challenge for this week, and this is an old challenge if you've been listening to this podcast, but since we back and we three-peating, the producer challenge is, I guarantee you, your beats and your arrangement skills will improve 100-fold if you use acapellas when making a beat.
Big facts.
We've been saying that on this podcast for years. We were doing this 6 years, and we've been saying that since probably the beginning. Producers struggle with arranging, not knowing how to arrange. Producers struggle with knowing when the beat is done. Producers struggle with taking a beat in a direction. One acapella, overproducing, all of that. One acapella will change all of that. It will alleviate all of those problems. It will make you a better producer, and it will help you make beats faster.
Because most producers aren't used to hearing rappers on their beats, which sounds crazy, right? But you're not used to I didn't learn this until I started working with like songwriters and being in the same room. And then you start realizing like, oh, it's pockets that I had, it's space that I need to have in the beat, right? And it's like, it's hard to understand it without working with an artist. So like, you know what I'm saying? When you have that, you making the beat and then you hear the acapella over, it's like, oh, okay, this is too busy. Or, oh, I need more space here. It to me, it gives you more options of what you can and can't do. And it kind of, you know, it gives you a rough estimate. It's not always going to be exact, right? But it just kind of gives you something to fill in that space so you know how to build around it. And like, man, Oracle be over there playing DJ Khaled. Oracle have a Rick Ross featuring Lil Wayne, featuring Drake, featuring. Yeah,
I'll be having like 100 acapellas in one set.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Having them, I'll be random, just having them joints pop up randomly. 8 bars of this person, 8 bars of that person, just going on random. But it takes you out of the things that you worry about when making a beat usually, and there's a lot of stuff that you worry about or overthink that you don't even realize it. When you have an acapella playing and you're making a beat around the acapella, none of that stuff crosses your mind. None of it. It's such a night and day experience of acapella and no acapella, especially if you got beat block or you stuck. Night and day difference, bro. Like there's almost no better tip.
It's hard for me to make beats without doing it. It's like I do it for every beat I make. It's like I got a bunch of acapellas I already know. Just throw them joints in there, and then even songs like demos and stuff I did, where it's like people, bro, I throw them joints in there, bro. I be catching vibe like old female record. Because a lot of times too, when I'm making a beat, I'm pitching the record a whole lot. Like I start in one key and then I keep pitching like, no, I don't like. Let me change this key. And then to me, the acapella is like, okay, cool. I could find that key better because you see what sits better with that person's voice. Because, you know, that's like a big thing. Like certain songs sound better in different keys for that person's voice. So you kind of got to take all of that into a, you know, and when you're thinking about it, you got to account for all of this. And it's like, to me, that makes it so much easier, just like bypassing the vocal, right? And then pitching just the beat and then be like, oh, okay, this person's voice sounds good in this range, and then group it together and just pitch everything. And then you be like, oh, okay, this is a cool pocket. And then you can go on, come up with some cool ideas.
Yes, sir. Man, that is it. That's the tip. That's the tip of the week, man. Yes, that is definitely, I mean, that's a challenge. That is the producer challenge of the week.
Yes, sir. And I was man, make sure if they haven't, check out the producer AI playbook, man. We put this together. And to me, I ain't gonna front. This is one of our best products.
Yes.
I feel like it's
easily.
It's definitely slept on, but one of the best, to me, bang for your buck, to me, the best one. Because the amount of workflow that you get from it. So what it does is it helps you create a team around your production business. So it helps you with using ChatGPT. You can have a social media manager. You can have an email marketer. You can have a negotiator, a music manager,
idea generator.
So it's just how to use AI to help you build your music production business. So whether if you're selling beats online or if you're trying to get placements, we built a bunch of different things to kind of help you use ChatGPT in your daily to kind of get further ahead and get more done. So check it out, man. It's been going crazy. Still feel like more people need to know about it, but it's going to happen when more people learn about AI and chat more. But if you're a producer, you need to have this. It's going to help you tremendously.
Definitely. I used it recently, and that is how I even came up with the new product that I'm coming out with. Like the way that it's coming out, it gave me the ideas. And it's funny, it gave me ideas based off of something that I always have always done for years, but just never put it into a product. But use the producer AI playbook, gave me the idea. I was like, that is genius. Why don't I do it? So check out the producer AI playbook, bro.
Oh, yes. After we get off, I'm using the negotiator joint. I got somebody email me about a little brand deal, a little brand play, you know what I mean?
Hey.
But, you know, they send a number. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to do what every respectable business person does. I'm going to negotiate, and I'm going to take it and put in ChatGPT, get them to, you know, get my rate up a little bit higher. We're going to negotiate up a little bit and see what we can pull off. You know what I mean? But to me, I like it because it takes the emotions out of it. I'm too like I said, sometimes I overthink it. With chat is like, yo, you could do this option, or this. Like, oh, I like two sounds cool. Let's run with that. Copy paste. Let's go.
It's super fast. You free up so much time just running things through that or generating ideas. All the stuff you used to stress out about. I mean, it's easy. And one could argue that it's a computer or it's AI, but the thing is, you would pay somebody to give you this advice. For instance, if you needed an email marketer and you had the budget, you would just hire one. And guess what that email marketer would tell you? The same thing that this joint told you.
Exactly.
And the email marketer may or may not write it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't hit up the email marketer like, yo, change it again, 8 times in a row in 10 minutes. The email marketer, you got to hit them. They got to email you back, hit them, email you back. It might take days. With chat,
Instant.
8 minutes. You done did 8 iterations.
That's fact. We'll
Yeah,
see.
man.
Masada says, Oracle, the 2 macros, my suggestion, sub oscillator to place the sub under kick, and maybe a transient shaper to give snares more snap since it's a boom bap kit.
Okay, 2 things. So what Masada is talking about, the new product that I was just talking about that I got the idea from the producer AI playbook for is a new product I'm coming out with. I guess it's going to be called Golden Era Drums because I can't think of another name for it now. I put a post out about it on my Instagram today. It's a regular, it comes as a sample pack. It's a boom bap sample pack, kicks, snares, hats, open hats. I just added hi-hat loops and percussion.
Oh, fire.
It also comes as an Ableton rack edition. You get the regular one or you can get the Ableton rack. So the post I put up, I'll open up the rack fully. I have 16 macro knobs that you can control it with. I have 14 of them filled up. I was asking people, what should I do with the last 2? I've been getting a lot of suggestions. Some people say put a drum bus on it with Ableton. I could do that. That's going to take up both of those knobs. I would have to do the dry and the mix level of the drum bus. I've been getting transient shapers as a suggestion. I'm not really going to do that because these drums already slap. I used a lot of my 2000 and a few other things. If you know about the 2000, it's a super punchy machine. If you know about my drums, they're already probably very punchy and snares are very sharp. So adding a transient shaper is like putting salt on bacon. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. Other suggestions I got were low pass filters and high pass filters. I don't know if I would use a low pass filter or a high pass filter on an entire drum kit. That don't make too much sense to me. So saturation, some people asked about, okay, and snare reverb and something else people have mentioned. It's pretty cool. I may not do anything with those last 2, but I'm hyped. Keep the suggestions coming in. Like I said, it's a boom bap sample pack. People have been asking me to come out with it for a long time. The regular sample pack comes with the drums, over 200 drums. It also comes with MIDI drum patterns. Fire. And so does the Ableton set. Another thing with the Ableton rack, you got the track, you put the MIDI patterns on it, you have the rack on that track, you just trigger the patterns. It got knobs, you can change the kicks, to change the snares, change everything you want. And best of all, there's a random button at the top of the rack. You can map it to a key or map it to a button. Every time you hit it, it's going to give you a different combination. Oh, that's fine. Different kicks, different snares, different open hats. The hi-hat loops that are included all sync to your tempo. I'll put 20 hi-hat loops in there. Perfect for boom bap, like the real type of joints. And last but not least, the Ableton rack also will come with a few drum kits that I put in it, like a few combinations of things that fit well together. I maybe put 15 or 20 of those in there. And for the rest of them, you can just hit the random button to your heart's content or dial in your joints. And once you get a combination or a kit that you like, you can save it. Boom. Save it right there in the rack. Now you can go back to that every single time. I just think it's a call for innovation. You know, just being a little bit, different, you know?
No, that's what's up. When are you dropping it? You know yet?
I was dropping it Friday, but I think I'm gonna wait until next Friday.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm looking for beta testers in the meantime.
Hey, hit them up, man. Hit them at. New sounds on the way. And I know people love that. Yeah, that's gonna be fire.
Yeah, just gonna do some more promo for it. That's all.
Bro, I got one that's sitting. I just gotta stop being so busy, man.
Put that thing out, bro. Put it out.
I know. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it probably end of July. That'll give me time.
Okay.
Yeah,
hey, man.
Maybe third or fourth week of July. I'm gonna drop a pack. It's done. And it's like how you did, innovating, adding a bunch of stuff. But I just gotta not be so busy to get the marketing stuff done. But we'll get it done.
Yeah. We will get it done. Also, last but not least, this week, sometime before the week is over, man, just check for my Instagram lives. I'm gonna do another set, demonstrating the new rack and the new drums. You'll see it. You'll also get to see how I put ideas and beats together without stopping the music ever, without ever using a metronome, without doing any of that stuff. And the one thing I guarantee you, is you've never seen anybody do this before in your life. I don't care how long you've been alive or where you've been. You've never seen anybody do this before, and I will do it for 2 to 4 hours. So that's what it is. That is me talking my shit.
You be doing a DJ set without DJ. I'm like, bro, you making the beats as you go? This is difficult, bro.
Yeah, it looks like I'm DJing, but I'm making beats. But it's I don't know. It's kind of like a hybrid of the two. Yeah. I just go back and watch the video, and then the stuff that I did that I like, I just go back and actually make the beat.
That's crazy.
4 hours of footage. I'm like, oh, that was dope. Make that beat. No, that was dope. Make that beat. So yeah, man. And shout out to Marcialago, my guy. He came through on a humble the other night. Not even to see the new product. I just happened to be working on it when he came in. He asked me what was going on, and he did some of the best promo I ever saw. I put it in my stories. I'm gonna actually put it on the product page, but that was an honest gut reaction from somebody seeing the product for the first time. He didn't even know what was going on. He just had set his camera up for something else because we was gonna make some beats or whatever, and he just started talking about it, and it was like the best reaction video I ever saw.
The best kind.
Yeah. So shout out to them. But enough about that. Do we have anything left in the chat before we get up out of here?
I think that's it, man. I think we went through our topics. We hit up the chat.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, another show down, man. Hey, man, we appreciate everybody that came through. It's awesome. I know 3rd week in a row. I'm just as shocked as you are. And just going to shock you even more. We'll be back next week on Wednesday at the same time.
4 for 4. Hey, before the break, we had a great record of perfect attendance. We were on it. So,
for 5 or 6 years, bro.
Yeah, we were on it. So, hey, we're back. It's going to be good. If y'all have questions, if y'all cooking up and y'all be like, man, I'm trying to figure something out. Yo, remember, ask us when you see us on live, and we'll do our best. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
To the homie that asked about the equipment, I'm gonna look it up. I screenshot it, so I'm gonna Google it, see what you were talking about. Take a look.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, much love to y'all.